Okay, so I'm here with Emily Gleason from MLE Renovations, handy woman company, as I like to say. Okay, let's dive into it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, first off, what does your company do?
We do renovations, mostly
Fitting.
residential.
Okay.
Interior renovations, medium scale, small to medium scale.
Cool. And so, how did you get this?
Well, I had been in the business, I've been doing renovations, working for other people, and then after a certain amount of time, decided I wanted to be the boss.
Yeah, easy peasy. And so, has the business changed or evolved from the initial idea you had, or has it just kind of stayed the same? Do you think hey, I'm gonna make shelves, and then you decided not to?
I've definitely had different ideas, not necessarily implemented them though. I still do the same things, but I kind of would like to do more outside stuff, like lawn and garden, help DIY some planters, stuff like that, build some
MLE landscape has a ring to it.
Yeah, but not landscaping I'm gonna cut your grass, more landscaping do you have some old junky furniture in your garage and can we turn it into some sort of planter?
Flipper.
Yeah.
Flip,
yeah. Yeah. But I haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay. It's okay, you've got time. So, do you have any previous experience, and then how is it related to the industry of your current business? I feel like you do.
Yeah. So, previous experience, I started working with someone for about 5 years, and then was on a couple of crews for a few years after that. So, or maybe even less than the first. Anyways, I had about 6 or 7 years of experience before I decided to do my own thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you describe how your business grew or developed over however long? It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't know that it hasn't really grown or developed for the most part.
Kind of been pretty standard.
Yeah, so I would say it's the same. It's just kind of a pretty simple formula of me doing. I think it's changed. I have different people that I've worked with because I can't just do everything by myself usually. I can do the majority of the work, but I need to have usually electricians or plumbers or even other people just to help with the labor.
Yeah, you're still the same thing though.
I'm doing the same thing, but I'll have different people that I meet that I bring on to the job.
Do you require external investment to start up?
I did. I needed a proper vehicle, so I think my dad gave me
Sunfire not doing it for you?
$3,000.
Oh.
And I bought a Dodge Caravan, and that's the best work vehicle ever because it's covered. Your tools aren't out in the open, and you can still fit drywall and plywood in there. So that was it. $3,000 to buy a Dodge Caravan.
It's okay. That's just tuition. It's cool.
Yeah.
Was there a particular factor that moved you from thinking about the business to taking action?
Yeah, sexual harassment in the workplace. Legit. Not being taken seriously as a woman in the trades.
I think we can't do it just because of your gender, yeah.
Being told to do all the grunt labor work when that's stupid for me to do it, kind of thing. Just wanting to do it
better.
I wanted to have a workplace that was safer for me. So I was getting injured a lot, and I was dealing with a lot of really bad personalities, and couldn't really find any great people to work for. So work for myself. I will try not to
treat
myself. Yeah.
What qualities or characteristics do you feel are important to be a successful entrepreneur? It's a pretty general question.
Yeah.
It's more like your personal opinion.
Yeah, definitely my opinion. Okay, so work ethic, obviously, bingo, number one. Because if as an entrepreneur, I'd say it's a pro and a con, is that you have the freedom to make your own schedule.
Yeah.
So you could either sleep in and watch a movie all day and not go to work because you have no one to answer to except for customers. Or you can sometimes give yourself too many jobs, so you have to find that balance as to how much you can take on. Scheduling, so being really, really good with time management, I would say is the second one. And depending on your business, like kind of be honest with yourself about what your strengths really are. Like, are you a people person? Like, are you going to be dealing with the public with your particular business? Can you actually do that, on a regular basis? So being a little bit realistic in your goals, I guess, would be the third thing.
Good one. Good answer.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to start and develop a successful business from the ground up? Oh, baby.
I think the realism thing comes into play here as well. If you're gonna be building something from the ground up, do you have the money to do so? Do you need investment help? Is your idea actually something that people are gonna sort of dig? Believe in
I'm
yourself.
gonna start a handshake company. It's like no one's gonna want to shake your hand. Sorry.
Maybe although maybe they will, but have some kind of reason for why you think it's going to actually do well, not just thinking like, well, I like this and I want to do this. So, I don't know. Everyone's like every business is so different. Being an entrepreneur can be totally different things to different people. So, in terms of ground up, yeah, make sure you aren't going to put yourself into too much debt to start. And if you are going to work with people, be smart about those you take on as partners. How about that?
I'd say bada bing, bada boom.
All right.
So what was the biggest struggle for you to start out?
Finding good people to work with. For sure.
You found them?
It's always an ongoing struggle. Like still to this day, after like 8 years.
Anyone constant?
No one constant. It's like dog eat dog, and even people that you hire to work for you for like less money just to like come in and do labor or help, whatever. Hard to find trustworthy people that will just come in and do an honest day's work kind of thing. So not necessarily hard to find business because there's a lot out there. Not that difficult to deal with. Kind of like knowing what to expect from everybody, but
sorry.
But for me, because again, I do need to have some people come in on the job every now and then to do things. Finding reliable networks, I guess, is the thing that I haven't had a great time with.
Well,
but
best of luck to you.
Yeah.
Do you think it's necessary to have an education to become a startup company?
I don't think it's necessary. But again, I think it depends on what you're doing.
Did you go to school for something that's even related to this?
No.
See? So.
No. But my education was basically like I did have someone in the beginning who was willing to, teach me the skills as I worked. So I didn't have to go through any kind of school. I didn't have to do like an internship. I basically was lucky enough to get like a paid internship kind of type job.
Oh, nice.
Entry level. It was with a friend. It was with somebody who was like already doing things. So that was kind of like a lucky stroke, I would say. Not everybody gets that. So if I was thinking of going to school beforehand, I wanted to be in the renovation business. And that's how it all came up because I said to this person, I'm thinking of going back to school for home renovations. And they were like, well, I do those. Why don't you just work with me and see how it goes?
Oh, that's like blessed. But
then if you want to, really grow and really get into like marketing and
at least take a course or something.
Yeah, and I think I would have gone back and done like just like a general business class. I think would have been helpful.
I don't know. You got me.
Because there's that there's the doing of the job, having the skills of like how do you paint a wall, but how do you also invoice that paint job? How do you do your taxes at the end of the year? I think that's a really important aspect.
Oh, taxes.
As an entrepreneur, it's complicated. You have to, pay tax on top, GST, all that stuff. It's it's crazy.
BC.
It's a crazy world.
You did you quote Cat Stevens?
Yeah. Unknowingly.
What benefits do you think? I don't think that's the right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this. What do you think you've benefited the most from by being an entrepreneur? Like, what do you think that's been really positive from it? What have you gotten out of it positively?
I feel proud of the work that I've achieved, and like taking on things that I didn't necessarily have experience in, and sort of being the
Personal
boss.
achievement, yes.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, facing challenges on your own and getting through them. And also just the lifestyle. I mean, again, there's the pros and cons to being an entrepreneur. But I really like the idea of being able to sort of control and maintain my own schedule. And that's, aside from personal goals attained, definitely a bonus for me.
And just, I know you've kind of touched on things that can go wrong, or maybe things that, you should watch out for. What do you feel like is overall just the biggest mistake for someone just going with a startup company right away? Like,
I think having unrealistic expectations, not doing your homework beforehand to know what you're getting into.
Things to fall in your lap.
Not even fall in your lap, just not really taking it seriously almost. Like just thinking that you can have an idea and, put in a little bit of work and then, sort of see what happens. Like, I think the more you're on top of it and the more you've done your research about the business or about the field before you launch, the better, rather than sort of as you go. I mean, you're going to learn things as you go no matter what, but I don't know. It's a huge amount of time and a huge amount of money that you're putting forth into something usually at the start. So it's really easy, I think, to get caught up with the excitement and the creativity and the passion about it, which is all good things as well. But that should fuel the logical, rational, intellectual part of it. Like I think you need to have that balance. And that passion is what drives it, because it's like a lot of work. I think it's like having kids, like just like a lot of work at the start to get things going, And then like once they're potty trained, then it's good.
What's the next thing?
Yeah, with the business, I think, another thing, it's don't expect just kind of like smooth sailing. Like, oh, I've figured out that one thing, now I'm great for another 10 years. It's like there's going to be constant things to come up to, so you can't get cranky.
It's never a dull moment.
You can't get whiny about it and be like, oh, poor me, I have to work over the weekend because da-da-da. It's like, that's part of the process. Part of the process, yeah.
Nice. Well,
yeah.
Last but not least.
Okay.
This is going to be fun for you. Take a deep breath. What do you see in your future? What would you like your future to be? We'll say that.
I would really like to have a network of all female tradespeople.
Yeah,
connected together. Like female electrician, female plumbers, painters, whatever.
Yeah.
And not in a I hate men kind of way, but just
people who just like doing it, they're good at it. It's just like, why not? It's like give them reciprocation, right?
Yeah, and I think it could also just be like it's a little bit of a branding thing too. It's kind of like tongue in cheek, like we are women, here is roar. And
do that whole thing.
That's actually one of my advertising posters is that Rosie the Riveter. Yeah,
that's perfect. You could put a hammer in your hand. Or something, like a nail gun, do a drill thing.
Yeah. So I want to make it so it's not too political necessarily, but sort of like a little more fun. But making the point that it's like you don't often see women doing these kinds of jobs. It could be kind of cool to have a very specific crew of just females doing work together, and I don't know, seeing what we can take over the world. of interior renovations.
Well, if any of you have a hole in the wall or a bump on the ground,
Bump in the ground? Sure.
Emily Renovations, she's got you covered.
Help you with your bumps and your holes. We do other things as well.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about.
No, you don't.
Well,
I'm gonna fix your.
Don't hire me.
I'm gonna fix your.
Yeah, I'm gonna go fix my shelf actually. So
Yeah,
perfect.
Shelf, so.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Mm-hmm. Miss Belcher.
Okay.